Hello, Serendipitous here with another video for the Board Game Shelf, and this is another game that I backed on Kickstarter like years ago, and it finally arrived, which to be expected. I don't mind too much. So Iconoclash. This is a game that I was very intrigued by this game because I had up to that point heard about and known of games that simulated traditional fighting games like Street Fighter, Tekken, and so forth. Iconoclash, however, is the first board game that I've seen to really seriously um, uh, simulate platform fighting games, which is the kind of fighting game that I personally prefer and have more experience with. So I thought, oh, that's really cool. This is, and I'm glad that it's finally here. So these two boxes are the only boxes that I really need to store everything. It did come with four boxes in total. Each of the big boxes has 4 characters in it, plus some maps, and this one and the smaller one had 2 characters in it. Go figure, makes sense. I did also want to point out that one of these was a collaboration with Level 99 Games. So this is a girl from Bullet, the girl who can manipulate gravity, Sphere, I think her name is, who can manipulate gravity. She's from Russia. We have Dex Aplenty from Millennium Blades, and we have this character from Indines, forgot his name, and this character from Double Cross. I thought that was cool. I think the rest of these characters are characters created by the publisher of this game, which is Strange Machine Games. So, but yeah, I use this. So that previous box was empty. I use this box to hold all of these sort of like repeated components, all these tokens, rule books, and these dice and everything like that. Because just like with Sakura Arms or with Bullet, if you buy especially with Sakura Arms, if you buy multiple boxes, you will get multiple components. So makes sense. You want to make everything standalone, but also if someone who wants everything is whatever, doubling up. Anyway, one thing I think is really cool. So this box with the cute Conquist Otter here, I'm using as basically the character select screen. I really like it. I really love the when a game that simulates fighting games simulates a character select screen. So of course there's this, and then you can also on this side, as well as the front if you really wanted to, and the top as well. Although these boxes are too tall for this box, just like barely a little bit. All right. So what is inside each box? Let's go with the girl from Bullet, Sphere. Yeah. So inside each of these boxes are a few common things here. First of all, there's a booklet that describes the character in more detail, strategy, individual cards, and things like that, right? And stats and so forth. A little bit of lore background if you like that kind of thing, which I certainly do. And here are the cards. They each have a sort of like a super move, and then all the normal cards here, right? I think some of this art is brand new because some of this does not look familiar to me at all from Bullet, which I think is really cool. All right, so each of these cards can be used in multiple ways. So there's like 3 different effects, I believe, if I remember correctly. It's been a little while since I played it on Tabletop Simulator, but you get to choose one of these 3 effects whenever you play it. Or there's like these other numbers. If you want to use the card in a different way, you can use this to block. I think this has to do with recovering. I cannot remember what this was for, but I can easily look that up sometime. So yeah, some cards are block cards, other cards are attack cards, so damage and knockback, I believe. And again, you can choose one of the different abilities. So yeah, each of these cards is pretty versatile. You get to sort of like choose what you want it to do. And I believe the sort of like the ultimate or like more superpowered card just kind of like has more powerful effects and everything. For example, next attack deals 2 extra knockback, knock them back 2 more spaces, which is powerful for a platform fighter because you're trying to knock them off the edge of the screen. If neither S-Sphere nor the target are on a platform, deal 2 more damage, or if S-Sphere is not on a platform, +1 recovery, I think. Again, it's been a little while, but anyway, so there's those things. Very cool. And then each character also has a health dial, of course. They had to punch out all the components and construct it and everything, but there's that. you do the same thing with unmatched and everything like that. And each character also has a wooden a wooden piece to represent them. That's kind of like their image sort of like printed on the wood. So yeah, that's that. Each character has that and their own mechanics with their cards and things like that. I will say one unfortunate little thing. My only real complaint with the shipping and everything is that with this character, with Zolt, unfortunately, I have not completed the dial. The wheel is, oh gosh, the wheel is in here as well. The wheel I've not put in yet because they gave me two of the same side of pin. You know how there's one pin that like sticks out, and another pin that kind of like slots in the other one, right? Unfortunately, they gave me two of one side, and it seemed like that was a common thing in this particular case. I saw several other complaints in the Discord server about the same thing. I'm keeping these so I can go to a hobby store sometime to find pins that will fit, and I'm fine with fixing it myself. Not a huge deal to me. So there's two characters here that have bigger boxes, and that's because they have an extra sort of thing in there. They have these bags that have like extra little cardboard tokens in them for their particular mechanics. So, oops, put that in upside down. There we go. All right. But yeah, that is the character select screen, quote unquote, of Iconoclash. And I think that is really neat. I really like how that is put together. Now, this other box, of course, is everything else you need to play besides the characters. This is where all the maps, the rule books, and all the tokens that you need are. Oh yeah, there's a lot of things going on in there. Oh, also I should mention that there's also an extra deck of cards in there that was like randomizer cards. So if you want to randomize the map or the characters, as well as the turn reference cards are in there as well. All right, so in here, yeah, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of individual boxes. This time, the boxes are for the different maps. So each of these larger boxes had two maps essentially, and so each of these boxes kind of comes with like again a stage select screen. Really only works on the side here, right? You can see the different maps. Each box has materials for two of them. I'll open one of them here. Basically, it's just a set of cards because cards for each of the two maps, right? And basically, yeah, they all have, of course, the same front here. Basically, each turn, you turn over a card, and it tells you what happens on that stage. It could be like item boxes are dropped or hazards are dropped, and it kind of gives you a grid on where to put everything, and so forth, right? Or that Gale Force wins at the end of each fighter's turn. They must move 2 spaces in the direction that was rolled. So, like, you roll a dice and all of that. Or, like, and, like, different zones might be affected by something. By good or bad things and so forth. So I think that's pretty neat. I haven't looked very closely at each of the maps, but I'm guessing that each one has like its own sort of like mechanic and everything. Each map does have one of these reference cards with like a little bit of story, like environment. Like for example, Dusk Tower I guess has wind, and then it kind of shows you like what the respawns look like. Could be a flag, could be something else. What an impossible block looks like, and what a soft platform looks like, as well. So that you're not confused, because I think it looks slightly different in each map. So yeah, you can see here: Castle Dawn, Dusk Tower, Fallen Field, Last Battlefield, Hallowed Manor, and Gilded Foyer. So, and then here is material for, I believe, the other two maps, because in that small box, or the last map, the other small box did not have a box for the Dimensional Forest, I guess. Okay, dice. I believe these are all the dice you need, a D4 and a D6 right there. And then we have these, and then these boxes are for items. They have item cards in them. That's what that's what this is as well. So item cards for the things from the level max box or the Iconoclash box and so forth. These boxes seem a bit big for what's in there, so I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, these are items that can be potentially dropped if you pick up an item box and everything. You can get one of these. I think you can probably mix and match between the like big boxes and everything like that, as far as I can tell. Um, but I think these are intended to the Castle Clash items are intended to go with the maps that came with the Castle Clash box, and so on and so forth. Right. Of course, the rule book as well as the map. So the Dimensional Forest, again, coming from this smaller box here from Cross Dimension. It is this sort of like glossy paper poster mat kind of thing. But all the other maps are folded cardboard. So I'll show you one of them anyway, if I'm able to show the whole thing on this. All right. So here's an example of what a map looks like. So there's a grid and everything, and there's soft platforms and impassable blocks, respawn flags, and so forth. And it is double-sided, as you can see there. And yeah, I have 3 boards like this. Each one has 2 maps on it. And then this is like all the different tokens that signify, you know, like how, like movement or like affected zones or item boxes and all those sorts of things. So yeah, that is Iconoclash. I unfortunately have not had a chance to play the physical version yet, but I have played it on Tabletop Simulator a few years ago, and I thought it was fun. And I'm glad to have this because now I have a platform fighting board game along with a traditional fighting board game like Soccer Arms. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And until next time, all the best.